Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Wrestle Plus YouTube channel, and this is a new series I want to make. I don't know what it's going to be called yet. I know a bunch of universe modes have done a bunch of different things for kind of like the insider creator mind on universe mode, and that's something that I really wanted to highlight on this YouTube channel because wrestling for me is definitely not the same that it used to be, but at the same time, the reason why wrestling is so interesting to me nowadays is because of what we get when it comes down to like the backstage drama and what's going on behind the scenes, who's injured, who's not injured, when's this person's contract signing coming up. Like, so much going into the actual before wrestling and the actual real life aspect of it makes it so interesting to me, and it brings together a story and it makes it so perfect. And that's what I want to try to do on my universe mode, and with the help of you guys, that's possible. I just let's just hope this series goes good. But I want to talk about my mindset about the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. Now, we just finished the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. Now, the Elimination Chamber is what I would like to call a statement show. Now, a lot of people like to call, they like to call out certain statement shows, like, for example, the recent in real life WWE, at least, Clash of the Castle. That was more of a statement show. That was a first ever Triple H show. He had to make an impression. Like, this was how I felt. It was my first ever pay-per-view. I didn't want it to be too long to where it was like, fuck, this dude's running like a 2-hour and 30-minute pay-per-view, but at the same time I didn't want to run too much of a short pay-per-view and then people were like, yo, like, is this just a regular episode of universe mode? So I did the safe thing, and I just made it like 15 minutes longer than my actual episodes go. I'm gonna try and make this quick though. Basically, if some of you guys who don't know how this universe mode works, I don't control the matches. I was thinking about giving it a go in one of our shows, but I haven't done it yet. Only thing that I control is just certain storylines and how I like to weave and progress them depending on which superstar wins, since it is CPU versus CPU. With that being said, a lot of the chamber, I actually recorded the chamber twice. I recorded the first because we're actually making the jump to PC. I've been taking the right steps and I'm actually fully ready to do it, going in to episode 6 Raw after Elimination Chamber. But I recorded the Elimination Chamber on console at first, and then completely different champions came out, but I was okay with it. And then I started booking Fastlane, and then I was gonna start recording the Raw after Fastlane, and I was like, oh man, it's still on console. I was supposed to make the jump to PC. So then I end up, muscling up and deciding to do that. So then when I decided to do that, I was like, all right, we're on PC. Let me record the gameplay on PC. I recorded it. Better champions came out. Since the pay-per-view's over, I guess I can talk about it. The first time around, Johnny Gargano won the Elimination Chamber. Now, I know some people might not have a problem with that, but me personally, I have had 2 other channels where I've done universe modes, and every time I've done a CPU versus CPU based universe mode, and I put Johnny Gargano in a match, no matter what 2K it is, ever, he always wins. And I don't know why that is, because I get it, he's Johnny Gargano, he's Johnny fucking wrestling, let's be honest, but at the same time, bro, like, I want to try to, I have different plans for Gargano, and I feel like Gargano's the kind of superstar that can be built up without a championship. And if you're the kind of superstar that can be built up around a championship, then we're going to use the championship for somebody who could use it. When you look at a mid-card championship, mid-card is supposed to elevate you to that main event level, but you got to work your way to that mid-card spot. That is exactly why in the Elimination Chamber I didn't just place them in there, kind of like how I did with the main event with Finn Balor and Kevin Owens. They all earned their opportunity. All 4 weeks going into the Chamber pay-per-view, they earned their opportunity to get to the Chamber. With that being said, Shotzi ended up winning. I'm very excited for that. I have a lot of big plans going into Fastlane. That is going to be our next big pay-per-view. I have a lot of plans going into Fastlane for Shotzi, and if she can retain her title at Fastlane, then I have an idea on what I want to do with her at WrestleMania and who I want to really see, win. Now, I'm not going to spoil anything future universe mode wise. I just want to let people know for sure. I do decide who wins some of the matches. Some of the bigger matches, like example, the Elimination Chamber matches for both shows, I wasn't gonna sit there and be like, all right, this person needs to win, because in that case I'd be restarting the match for 10 fucking years, or I'd have to play it and risk losing and then restarting it again. I wasn't gonna do all that. I wanted everything to flow by really smooth, as less camera cuts as possible. Personally, I don't mind the camera cuts, but I notice a lot of universe mode channels, and this isn't a shot towards them, but a lot of universe mode channels do it so much, it's kind of refreshing when you do the basic camera angle that comes with the game. If I wasn't gonna do that, I'd probably look into some mods, and I'd do the sooner or later, of course, for universe mode, I do the here comes the pain camera angle. If I could just have something like that, I'm solid. I'm not a fan of the big switches, the big camera angles. I like calling the action in the ring. I like creating good storylines outside of the ring. Those are where my highlight reels are gonna come in, and I'll start working on other things, you know, yada yada. But as far as shows go in the ring, I want to just leave it strictly wrestling and show off I want to show off the wrestlers style, the wrestler's moveset. It shouldn't be based off of camera angles and, whoa, did you see that sick camera angle of fucking Lashley spearing Escobar? Like, no, I just want it to be the impact of the spear. How I want you guys to really see how hard that spear hit through just watching it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to be able to call the action so good we tell the story. So that's kind of my plan for Universe Mode. You know, that was kind of the big push. But, you know, aside from that, Shotzi ended up winning the Elimination Chamber. And then we move on to the Tag Team Championships. You know, the Hurt Business, I'm not gonna lie, I'll be honest, I really wanted the Hurt Business to win this matchup. There was a time where I was going to even, you know, push the Hurt Business and have Lashley win that grudge match, and I was gonna have, you know, the Hurt Business win the new titles. But I was, in my mind, I'm like, no, like Legato's doing really nice work right now, and something that I feel like even WWE has a problem with doing, and I guess I can sort of argue it for AEW, even though their trios champions are luchadors, sort of, not counting Pac. But I feel like when it comes down to the lucha side of wrestling or professional wrestling, it's so watered down, especially when it comes to America. I feel like the States, they ruin you know, lucha wrestling, and it's not for the better, because there's so many great luchadors out there that end up getting watered down. Like, for example, I just got news today that real life wise in WWE, Dragon Lee is coming to the WWE. He's coming to NXT. I'm excited for it. I just hope by week 4 he's not jobbing out to JD McDonough. Like, that's my only problem with the you know, with the luchadors. I know you can kind of argue the same point, focusing back on my show, you know, having Escobar lose to Lashley. If I was gonna go with the Hurt Business winning the tag team titles, then Escobar was probably going to win the match against Lashley. I wanted Lashley to win the match. I felt like it was more important for Lashley to win the match, because Lashley does have important plans going into the Fastlane pay-per-view that I won't talk about. But he does have more plans than Escobar. Escobar, I'm gonna build him up. You know, as the months go, he's gonna look like a credible leader to Legado del Fantasma. You know, we've seen him help Legado win before in matches. You know, as far as that tag team go, you know, Raul Mendoza, Jacqueline Wild, I want to leave them alone. They're doing the best work I've seen in a 2K game in a very long time, especially from the aspect of CPU versus CPU. Again, when you're controlling matches, it's easy to say, hey, I want to get this 5-star match, or I want this to come out of it, and then actually capitalize. You'll be able to do things like that, you know, taking no credit away from any content creator out there. But and this is something that I really enjoyed about a very big inspiration of mine, a YouTuber that I watched, Brendan Plays. A lot of people don't understand, like, it is so hard to get a good CPU versus CPU matchup, because a lot of the times the matches will be jobber matches. I mean, we've seen it in Universe Mode. The matches will be jobber matches, bro, and I look at it like, damn, I built up this huge card, and that's another thing too why it could be stressful sometimes, because, you know, why that's where the time comes in, because you build up this huge feud, you build up this huge card, you're like, these two men want to kill each other for the WWE Championship, and then you go into the match, and the CPU's like, yeah, fuck you, we're gonna put together a 2-minute match. And that never really works out the way I want it to. But when it comes to the Tag Team Champs, they're doing really good work, and I'm enjoying it. Intercontinental Championship match, again, Sheamus won. I'm very happy about that. Sheamus is paired with the Brawling Brutes in my Universe Mode, so that is going to be very interesting. You guys know we have the Shields, and we have a lot of big factions. I'm trying to really drive that forward, the faction wars, because, you know, when Survivor Series rolls around the way, I was thinking about doing something when it comes down to, like, the trios of the Universe Mode, instead of it being very 5-on-5 base. You know, see what we can do with that. But anyway, focusing on the main event, we have Kevin Owens versus Finn Balor. Now, this match, I don't know how people feel about it. I didn't really get the most feedback, you know, in this Universe Mode episode, but this match I enjoyed. This match was a good match. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was the shorter out of the others, but for two men going out there, you know what I'm saying? Because when you look at the other matches, you know, aside from the Women's Championship match, of course, in Bobby Lashley versus Escobar, every other match, you know, that went really, really long at least, they had some type of partner or breakup, you know, happening, or breaking up the pin, or they had, you know, just a whole bunch of stuff happened to make the match longer. But, you know, Finn Balor and Kevin Owens, they just went out there and beat the shit out of each other. They delivered on exactly what I was trying to build this feud for. And that was, this feud was supposed to be, if people didn't really get it, because it was kind of hard because week 1 kind of, or week 3 kind of got mumbled. But the idea was for Kevin Owens and Finn Balor to just hate each other. For Kevin Owens to want to earn Finn Balor's respect walking into the Elimination Chamber, and as the weeks go on, learning this new character that Finn Balor has created, where Finn Balor doesn't really care about respect. He cares about bringing judgment to Kevin Owens. That was Finn Balor's push. He thinks the WWE Universe deserves an actual WWE champion, and not in the face way, more of a heelish way. Like, he's like, you know, whether WWE Universe sees it or not, they need me as champion. I'm the guy that can carry this brand on my back, which, hey, if you want to throw a brand on Finn Balor's back, hey, you know what I'm saying, the WWE title is a good way to do it. But, you know, stuff like that when it comes down to Finn Balor, when it comes down to just his in-ring ability and stuff. I really, really love Finn Balor, and I love everything he does in the ring, and he's the most consistent wrestler in the ring, and he just brings that intensity every time he steps into the ring, and that right there is why I would have loved to put the title on Finn Balor. But Kevin Owens was the obvious choice in this matchup. You know, I feel like when you're putting Kevin Owens and Finn Balor against each other, Balor's a great opponent. Balor deserves a WWE Championship later on down the line. I definitely want to make Balor a WWE Champion. You know, if that's something the WWE Universe ends up, you know, saying okay with. And when I say that, I just mean you guys, my community, because right now I'm just kind of basing off of storylines that I want to put together. But, you know, soon, once we start to build a bigger community and people start to pitch in ideas and I start to see how people are enjoying certain rivalries, then I'll be able to really be able to say, hey, I'll cut this out, I'll leave this in, I'll add this, I'll bring this guy back, you know, like, you know, things like that, because I'll have more feedback. Right now I'm just going off of me and my mind, me being my own critic, you know. So it's a little, I'm trying to separate myself from the guy who put together the pay-per-view to the critic that watched the pay-per-view from start to finish, to the person that knows what happened and what was going to happen. I'm trying to put myself in more of the analyst's mind rather than the creator mind of things, if that makes any sense. So Balor not winning, very bold choice. I'm very curious to see what Kevin Owens is going to do. Because, like I said, you know, you got Finn Balor. You could have easily put the WWE Championship on him, and you could have just strapped a fucking rocket to this man's back and just had him, you know, go. You know, Balor is one of the most easiest people to book in my years of doing Universe Mode from different channels and stuff. Balor is probably, I'd say, the easiest person to book. You know, Balor, if he would have won the WWE title at Elimination Chamber, what? He could have did some random match at WrestleMania, you know? He could have ended up, hey, fuck it, I probably would have thrown him against Undertaker at WrestleMania. Like, you need that match. Then again, I wouldn't want Taker to lose his first match, but I feel like Taker's time has passed so much. It really would have just been like recognizing a legend and putting over Finn Balor. At that point, Balor would have been unstoppable after Mania, but that ends up not being the plans. I mean, it still could be. You never know. You know, Balor can beat Owens for the title leading up to the Fastlane pay-per-view. He can weasel himself into a match at Fastlane. Anything can happen. But Kevin Owens is no easy opponent, so I'm very interested to see what goes on with Kevin and how Kevin Owens really, you know, does his thing here. But yeah, that's gonna be it for me today. Hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you guys did, let me know down in the comment section below by hitting that thumbs up button and subscribing for more. I know we are uploading on this channel a lot more frequently than we usually do, but I was trying to not try things differently, but just try to upload more on the channel, because I noticed that it's getting support and it's getting silent support, but I appreciate it 110%. Don't get me wrong, I really do. And that's why I want to try to take that next step and try to upload different things and you know, upload these behind the scenes of Universe Modes and see if people are, you know, feeling it, you know. So let me know what you guys think, and yeah.